Welcome, friends. Are you sitting comfortably? Tonight, I would like to tell you the tale of an old house full of secrets, with stories told by the locals about the family who lived there, and their disappearance. The house has been abandoned for years, its name now synonymous with a local horror story. The rain fell in sheets across the cracked asphalt of Millbrook Lane, a forgotten street on the outskirts of Ravenwood, a once thriving industrial town now plagued by abandoned factories and foreclosed homes. This particular neighbourhood had been slowly dying for decades, property values plummeting as the old Victorian houses fell into disrepair, their ornate facades crumbling like rotting teeth. At the end of this street stood 1742 Millbrook Lane, a three-story Victorian monstrosity locals called the Hollow House. Built in 1887 by timber baron Edmund Whitlock, it had remained sealed since 1932, when the entire Whitlock family vanished without explanation. The property had been tied up in legal disputes for generations, untouched and forbidden. Until tonight, 5 urban explorers, Mia, Derek, Cassie, Tyler and James, huddled beneath the rusted iron gates, their camera equipment protected under rain ponchos. They'd built a modest YouTube following documenting abandoned places, but nothing prepared them for what awaited inside. "The lock's broken," Mia whispered, her flashlight illuminating the front door hanging slightly ajar. "That's impossible. This place has been sealed for almost a century." A cold draft escaped from the doorway, carrying the unmistakable scent of decay. Not the musty smell of old houses, but something deeper, more primal, like meat left too long in summer heat. "Perfect for views," Derek grinned, adjusting his camera. At 28, he was the oldest and most reckless of the group, always pushing for more extreme locations. Haunted Victorian mansion where an entire family disappeared? We'll break 1 million subscribers. As they crossed the threshold, the floorboards sighed beneath their weight. The air inside felt dense, almost resistant, as if the house itself objected to their presence. James, the group's historian, swept his light across the entrance hall. "Everything's still here. Furniture, paintings, even personal items. It's like they just left in the middle of dinner." The dining table remained set with fine china, the silverware tarnished black. 5 plates with the remnants of a meal, now nothing but dust. 5 chairs pulled out, as if the diners had simply stood up and walked away. "Check this out," Tyler called from the parlor. A gramophone stood with its needle still touching a record. "Guys, this is beyond creepy. It's like time just stopped." Cassie, filming with her handheld camera, focused on a family portrait above the fireplace. Edmund Whitlock stood stern-faced beside his wife Eleanor, their 3 children, William, Victoria and little Thomas, arranged before them. Their eyes... "The Whitlocks were Ravenwood royalty," James explained, his voice echoing unnaturally in the dead air. "Edmund built half the town. Then one night in 1932, during the worst winter storm in decades, neighbors reported hearing screams from the house. When police finally arrived, everyone was gone. No bodies, no signs of struggle, just an empty house with dinner on the table." As James spoke, the temperature plummeted. Their breath clouded before them, despite it being June outside. "Did you hear that?" Mia whispered, her camera pointed toward the second floor. "Sounded like footsteps." "Probably just the house settling," Derek said, though his voice lacked conviction. They ascended the grand staircase, each step groaning in protest. The second floor held the family bedrooms, each preserved like museum exhibits. In the master bedroom, Eleanor's silver hairbrush still contained strands of long, dark hair. Edmund's pocket watch lay open on his nightstand, stopped at 3:33 a.m. In little Thomas's room, a wooden rocking horse began to sway gently. "Very funny, Tyler," Cassie hissed. "I'm right here," Tyler replied from the doorway, his face drained of color. The horse continued rocking faster now, the wooden runners scraping against the floor like fingernails on skin. Then it stopped abruptly. A child's laughter echoed from somewhere deep within the house. "We should go," Mia said, backing toward the stairs. "Something's not right here." "Are you kidding?" Derek scoffed. "This is gold. We're finally getting actual paranormal activity." As they argued, James noticed something disturbing about the family portrait in the hallway, different from the one downstairs. In this version, little Thomas's eyes were solid black, and Eleanor's mouth was stretched in an impossible grin. "Guys," he said, voice trembling, "the pictures are different up here." The lights on their cameras began to flicker. Static interrupted their audio. From the third floor came the unmistakable sound of something heavy being dragged across the floor. "What's up there?" Tyler asked. "The attic," James whispered, "where they performed the rituals." "What rituals?" Mia demanded. "You never mentioned rituals." James swallowed hard. "I found newspaper clippings while researching. Rumors that Edmund was involved in occult practices. Neighbors reported strange symbols painted on the windows, chanting at odd hours. Some believed he was trying to achieve immortality for his family." As if responding to his words, every door on the second floor slammed shut simultaneously. The temperature dropped so severely that frost began forming on the windows. "We need to leave, now." Cassie turned toward the stairs, only to find a small boy standing there. Thomas Whitlock, exactly as he appeared in the portrait, wearing short pants and a formal jacket. His skin was grey, his eyes hollow black pits. "Won't you stay for dinner?" the child asked, his voice overlapping with multiple others, as if the entire family spoke through him. "Mother insists, Derek, seeing the viral potential, pushed forward with his camera. "Who are you? What happened to your family?" The boy's head tilted at an impossible angle. "We're all still here. Father made sure of that. We can never leave, you see. And now..." His mouth stretched into that same impossible grin from the portrait. "Neither can you." The floorboards beneath Derek splintered. Rotting hands burst through, grabbing his ankles. He screamed as he was pulled downward, his camera clattering to the floor, still recording as he disappeared into the darkness below. The remaining four ran, only to find the staircase had vanished, replaced by a solid wall. Every window they approached showed not the rainy street outside, but different rooms within the house, as if the building had folded in on itself, creating an impossible geometry. From the walls came whispers, the Whitlocks speaking in unison. "The house must be fed. The house must be fed." James realized the horrible truth. Edmund didn't try to make his family immortal. He sacrificed them to the house. "This place is alive. It's been waiting for new occupants." The wallpaper began to peel away, revealing not plaster, but pulsing organic matter beneath. The floor softened like flesh. From every shadow emerged the partially decomposed forms of the Whitlock family, their movements jerky and unnatural. Eleanor Whitlock, her face half-rotted, reached for Mia with blackened fingers. "You'll be me now, dear. I've been so tired of wearing this face." The house groaned around them, the sound of a predator awakening from hibernation. The walls began to close in, the ceiling lowering. The house was digesting them. One by one, they were separated, pulled into different rooms that shouldn't exist. Their screams echoed through halls that stretched and contracted like arteries. Only Cassie's camera continued recording, capturing glimpses of horrors no human mind could comprehend. The true form of the house revealed, a living monument to Edmund Whitlock's madness. 3 days later, when concerned friends finally called police, officers found 1742 Millbrook Lane exactly as it had been for decades, locked, abandoned, untouched. No sign of the 5 explorers was ever found, except for a single camera sitting on the front porch, its memory card containing footage too corrupted to recover, except for the final frame. 5 new faces in the Whitlock family portrait, their eyes hollow, their smiles stretched too wide. And if you visit Ravenwood today and walk down Millbrook Lane, locals say you might see 5 figures watching from the windows of the hollow house, new faces among the Whitlocks, waiting for the next curious visitors to step inside. Because the house must be fed. The house must always be fed.